Okay, I want to explain the gradients thing a little bit better because I think this is a bit too complicated for what we want to do. Again, we're going to use the empty, so let me bring it back and let me start from here so that we can easily visualize what we're doing. And I'm going to animate the empty starting from 0, 0. So about here, going up just like that, so that we have some animation. I'll select this, make sure this is set to relative, and what we can do, we can again use a gradient. We can bring in the position, which is basically the coordinates of the gradient. Just connect this and you see there is no change, but you can again do things like add or subtract to the gradient. But I want to just rotate the gradient, so vector rotate, and I want to just rotate this. Let's see, would it be on the y-axis? Let's see if 90 degrees on the y. Yeah, just like that. Because I want to keep this simple, I'm just going to add the location of the empty to the gradient, to whatever we have here for the gradient. So I can use math node here, and you can see as I add to this, or if I subtract to this, the gradient moves. So I can just use the current location of the empty, but I only want the upward movement, so I can use a separate xy to get the z value and add to that. So now if I move, let me just pin this for a second. So now if I move the gradient, we can see that this is also, the gradient is also moving. So I'm just going to subtract to get the opposite, to make sure that the gradient matches. And that's exactly what we want. We won't have the rotation and everything, but I think it's a much simpler setup than what we had before here. So I'm just going to get rid of this and use this instead. It still achieves the same results, but it's much simpler. So now if we take a look at this, when we move this, we get something like that. But I think I need to, let's see. We still need to match the positions of the gradient. So I'm going to come in here. Let's try multiply. Yeah, multiply until the gradient matches. Let me get rid of this. Yeah, the speed is always going to be determined by how far these are coming from. So if I want the movement to be slow, I can just reduce the distance they are moving, and you can see now they are a little bit slower. Yeah, you can see. Yeah, you can slow them that way, or you can just slow down the speed of the empty, and they should come in a bit slower this time. So that's perfect. Now you can see that as they are coming in, let me turn to render view here and make sure this is set to 0. Yeah, you can see that as they are coming in, they're starting up here, but I want them to like show up mid-air like we have in the original. You can see that they fade into existence. So to do that, we can still use the same gradient and use it to change the scale of instances using the scale instance. This gradient here, if I connect it directly to the scale, let me use our ramp. You can see what we're getting. I will just have to flip this, so that is the other way around. So they only appear at a certain distance, which is perfect. In the original, you can see that these are coming from different directions. So let's do that, and the way you do that, you just have to alter this gradient, and we can easily do that by using a noise texture and adding that to this. So I'll just add this here, and usually you want to subtract the offset that comes with the noise to center the noise. So I can change, let me use a small scale and just scale the strength of the noise. Yeah, you can have something like this. So you can see they come from different areas. Some of them are starting from down, so I'm just going to move them up a bit. Perfect. Now you can see that they're all from different areas. Okay, in the next lesson, let's create the revealing layer. We have the pixels, but we don't have the character getting revealed.